Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be planting four different varieties of potatoes. Two are very similar, and the other two are pretty basic. We have here the Yukon Gold, and that's a nice looking potato. We have here the, what are these? Lesotho, the red Lesotas. I like these also. Now we have two varieties I've never planted before, but they're super healthy. This is a blue potato, and it's called the Adirondack or Adirondack. The Adirondack is a purpley blue potato all the way through, and very healthy for you. And the other variety here is the the Purple Majesties. These here are also like the Adirondacks. Now, the reason why I got these two varieties, I just wanted to try which one, if one was a little creamier than the other or something like that, you know. But the main reason why I got it, because of the health benefits. There are so many health benefits from eating the purpley blue potatoes. And if you can get your hands on some, I would recommend getting those and using those instead of the regular. Now, we'll be eating both, but I really want to try these this year, and if I really enjoy them, I'll be planting few of the basic potatoes. So let me tell you about the health benefits. Now, these are very high in flavonoids, anthocyanins. That is the same, basically pigment is what makes blueberries blue and other vegetables purple. This purpley blue pigment is what makes these potatoes so spectacular. They are anti-carcinogenic, especially for prostate cancer, but in general for all cancers. It helps you with your mental health. It puts you in a better mood. Helps arteries become more elastic, therefore lowering your blood pressure also. And helps with inflammation in the body, anywhere in the body. And you get a lower spike in blood insulin than you would with regular potatoes. So the health benefits of these are just incredible, just fantastic. So what we're going to do here is get the soil ready. My soil is basically ready. What you need for planting potatoes, especially potatoes, carrots, and things like that, vegetables, root vegetables that go deep into the ground, you need nice, fluffy soil. What you need, so you need a lot of organic material in your soil. Compost, manures, whatever. Make sure it's all composted down, and you don't want to put fresh manure in there. But that's basically it. Is a lot of organic material in your soil. We're also going to add minerals. I like using azomite, so we're going to add minerals in here. Now, there's lots of ways of planting potatoes. I've seen people don't even plant them. They put them right on the ground. They put hay on them and stuff, and they'll grow underneath the hay. Yeah, they'll grow, but personally, I think we need to plant potatoes the way God designed them to be planted, in the ground, under the ground. The reason for that is, if the potato isn't buried in the ground, it won't pull in the minerals properly. The roots have to be in the ground. The potato has to be in the ground in order for it to pull in all the minerals that the bacteria break down in the soil. So you want your soil to be moist, not soaking wet, but moist and living soil. That's why we put compost in there, because that's when you have your bacteria, all your fungal organisms in there, and all the little bugs and critters and stuff. They bring in all that life into the soil to give your potatoes or any vegetable what they need. Okay, so let's get planting here, and let me show you how I'm going to space them out and all that. Okay, so I have here 2 cups of azomite. I'm just going to sprinkle it in the bed here. This will help mineralize your vegetables, and this way you can benefit from them. Now we just want to rake it in a little bit into the soil. Okay, because once the potatoes in the ground and we cover them up and all that, and you water, all that gets pulled down into the soil, and your roots, your potatoes know what to do after that. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do here, I'm going to plant, I got 5 open beds here that I can plant potatoes in. I got 4 different varieties, so the 2 beds are going to be for the Yukon Golds and the Red Lesota. And the other 3 beds, I'm going to plant these, the Purple Majesties and those other blue ones there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So let's plant these Purple Majesties. See what they look like here. Now, if you can't find Purple Majesties locally, I'll put a link in the description to where I got these. Decently priced. So now, as far as spacing, I mean, normally you put potatoes a foot and a half apart. If I was planting in my, you know, in the ground out there in my garden, you can plant potatoes just about anywhere. Like a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, a big container. This here is a raised bed, is basically a giant container. But the number one thing is the soil has to be, I mean, I can put my whole hand deep. Look at that, how deep I got that. Okay, and I can go to one deeper. There has to be loose and fluffy so the roots can spread out and start producing potatoes and start pulling all those minerals in the soil. All right, we're going to plant 1, 2, 3, another one here, another one here, here, maybe a foot or less apart. I'd like to do, I could, probably 8 inches would be okay, because we're in a bed here. We can do a little cramming. Sure, why not? I just hope I have enough potatoes. You could also cut these where the little eyes are on here growing. You can cut these and then let the skin where you cut it, or let that part heal up, let's say for like a couple of days. Then you can put them in the ground. Okay. Let's see. We need one more over here. Whatever I have left over, if I have any left over, I'm just going to plant them in my beds in the garden. We are, as of the making of this video, we are at the end of February, going into March. Late. I'm very late. I should have planted these around Valentine's Day, mid-February. But it's okay. We have a long growing season here, and they'll be just fine. Okay, so in one raised bed, this bed, by the way, is 7 foot by, I want to say 3.5-ish, somewhere around there. And we got here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Kind of an 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where I'm missing one. So we'll make these a little bit closer together. There, we'll put one there. 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. So we got 18. Pretty good. And it looks like they're spaced apart, you know, 8 to 10 inches. That's good, because when you got to picture this, When this potato's in the ground, it's going to start producing those, the plant's going to start shooting up, the slips are going to start coming up, and the roots are going to start growing into the ground, and it's going to grow potatoes in that general area where the potato's at. And if you're spaced about 10 inches apart or so, you're fine. You'll be fine. So everything's spaced about like that. So I would suggest putting them into the ground approximately 6 to 8 inches. That should do it. About your hand's depth. And then cover them up. And just keep on doing that. And we'll get the rest of these planted. Alright, so I got one bed done. I got 4 more to do. I'm going to try to do like 3 beds of these blue potatoes if I have enough. I should just have enough. So as far as how long is it going to take for them to start coming up out of the ground, roughly 3 weeks, okay? And you can harvest the potatoes in roughly 3 months. It could be 75 to 110 days, but I generally say 3 months. When you see the plant get wilting and getting kind of falling over, getting yellowish, they're ready. They're ready to be picked. So roughly I say 3 months. But you're going to have to watch the plant, see if you're watering it normally and it's still turning yellow and wilting, that's because they're done. They need to be pulled out of the ground and harvested. What else? 3 weeks for them to sprout, roughly 3 months for them to be harvested. And just keep the soil moist and you should be good to go. Now, as long as you're using good composted soil, you know, if you don't have a garden bed ready, or if you're planting in your garden itself right into the ground, you're gonna have to till up the ground first. Till it up really good. Make sure the ground is moist to begin with, and add a bunch of compost to it and re-till it into the ground and get it all. You want a good, 10 inches or at least 10 inches or so of nice deep soil. Make sure you always keep the potatoes covered. If you're watering and you see some potatoes just surfacing off, on the top of the soil and they're hitting daylight, you got to cover those immediately, because on a blue potato you can't tell, but if you had a regular potato like your white potato, your russets or something, and you see a green spot on them, that could be very toxic. They're not good to eat like that. The green part, anyways. But if you cover them up, that'll go away, and you won't have that problem. But the potatoes have to be covered at all times. All right, guys, so as far as fertilizing, you could put the fertilizer on top. I use a organic fertilizer. It's basically a 3-5-5, the NPK. So you want your nitrogen fairly low, but you want your phosphorus and potassium higher. The phosphorus and potassium will help the potato grow bigger, the roots. And the nitrogen is for the plant itself, for it to be greener and lush. But we want to concentrate more on the potatoes than the plant, of course. You want your plants to look good, because they're the ones that are going to take the photosynthesis from the sun and all that stuff and feed it to the potatoes. But you want your phosphorus and potassium up higher than nitrogen to grow your potatoes big. So that's pretty much it, guys. 6 to 8 inches deep. Put your minerals in. You can fertilize it too. In roughly 3 weeks, you're going to have, they're going to be sprouting on the top here. You're going to see them come up. And harvest in roughly 3 months, 75 to 110 days. You'll see when your plants start turning yellow and they start wilting over. If they're at the 3 month mark, then they're ready to harvest. And just keep the soil moist. That's it. Don't overwater. All right, guys, so that is it. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.